The champagne glass shattered against the marble floor. Maya Chen stood frozen in the entrance of the Grandview Country Club, her simple black dress dark against the sea of pastels and florals. 200 faces turned toward her. The string quartet faltered mid-note. "Is that not the ex-wife?" someone whispered. "I bet she is," another voice hissed. "Wearing black to a wedding." Before we dive into our amazing story for today, answer this honestly. Would you have the courage to show up at your ex's wedding? Drop your location in the comments if you would. And if you love revenge stories with shocking twists, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what happens next. Maya's fingers tightened around her clutch. 6 months ago, she'd buried her mother in a quiet cemetery with 15 people in attendance. 2 weeks after that, her husband had packed his bags and walked out. 3 months later, she'd received a cream-colored invitation in her mailbox. "Marcus Chen and Vanessa Hartley request your presence at their union." Her husband, her best friend since childhood. And she'd come. God help her, she'd come. How absolutely inappropriate. A woman's voice cut through the murmurs. Patricia Hartley, Vanessa's mother, swept toward Maya in a cloud of Chanel No. 5 and barely concealed disdain. "Black to a wedding? Did no one teach you basic etiquette, dear?" Maya met her gaze steadily. "I thought it was appropriate, Mrs. Hartley. I'm mourning something." Patricia's smile sharpened like a knife. "Well, how dramatic." She turned to the crowd, her voice carrying. "Everyone, please, let's not let this little disruption ruin our celebration. The ceremony is about to begin." Maya walked to the back row and sat alone. Around her, guests shifted away like she carried something contagious. Pity, maybe. Or the stench of failure. The music swelled. Marcus appeared at the altar in a custom tuxedo that probably cost more than Maya's monthly rent. He'd always been handsome. Sharp jaw, dark eyes, the kind of smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. Until you realized you weren't. Then Vanessa appeared. She floated down the aisle in a dress that must have cost $30,000, her blonde hair cascading in perfect waves, her smile radiant. When her eyes found Maya in the back row, that smile widened, sharpened. She'd won. Maya's phone buzzed in her purse. She ignored it. It had been buzzing for weeks. Some lawyer named Henderson, leaving voicemails she deleted without listening. She couldn't handle one more thing. Not while she was working double shifts at the elementary school, eating ramen 3 nights a week, falling asleep to the sound of her upstairs neighbor's arguments. The officiant began. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the union of two souls who have found, against all odds, their perfect match." Against all odds. Maya's nails dug into her palms. "Marcus," the officiant continued, "do you take Vanessa to be your lawfully wedded wife?" Marcus's voice rang clear. "I do. I promise to build the life we both deserve with someone who shares my vision for success and never settles for mediocrity." Never settles for mediocrity. The words landed like stones in Maya's chest. "Vanessa, do you take Marcus to be your lawfully wedded husband?" "I do." Vanessa's voice was honey sweet. "I promise to be the partner you need, who understands that love means ambition, growth, and choosing wisely." Choosing wisely. Maya felt the eyes on her back, felt the weight of their judgment and their satisfaction. Look at the poor ex-wife, sitting alone in her sad black dress, watching her replacement marry up. The ceremony dragged on. Vanessa's father gave a speech about his daughter's impeccable taste and wisdom. "She's always known her worth," he said, glancing toward the back row where Maya sat. "She never settles. She chose wisely this time." The guests laughed. Maya stared at her hands. When they were pronounced husband and wife, the room erupted in applause. Marcus kissed Vanessa like he was sealing a business deal, which Maya supposed he was. The reception hall was even worse. Ice sculptures shaped like swans, a live band playing jazz standards, waiters circulating with caviar and champagne that Maya couldn't afford even if she wanted it. She stood at the bar, nursing a glass of water, trying to decide if leaving now would be more humiliating than staying. Maya. Vanessa's voice made her spine stiffen. I'm so glad you stayed for the reception. Maya turned. Vanessa stood there in her princess dress, Marcus beside her, both of them glowing with victory. It's a beautiful wedding, Maya said quietly. Isn't it? Vanessa moved closer, her voice dropping. You know, I really did want you here. I wanted you to see this, to see what it looks like when two people are actually right for each other. Vanessa, you were always going to be mediocre, Maya. Vanessa's smile never wavered. Just like your mother. A secretary who died with nothing. No savings, no property, no legacy. Just an old car and some photo albums. Maya's throat tightened. Don't talk about my mother. Why not? It's the truth. Vanessa tilted her head. Marcus wasted 5 years waiting for an inheritance that never came. Did you know that? He thought your mother had money tucked away, connections, something. But she worked in a cubicle for 40 years and died with a 20-year-old Camry. Marcus shifted uncomfortably, but didn't contradict her. I heard you're in a one-bedroom in Riverside now, Vanessa continued. Teaching elementary school, working double shifts. How sad. Dear viewers, is your blood boiling yet? Well, mine is. If you think Vanessa and Marcus are about to get what they deserve, smash that like button. Trust me, what's coming is good. Just keep watching. That's enough, Vanessa. The voice came from behind them. Marcus's brother Derek stood there, his expression tight with anger. This is cruel, even for you. Vanessa waved him off. Oh, Derek, don't be so sensitive. Maya understands. Don't you, Maya? This is just how the world works. Some people rise and some people... She looked Maya up and down. Don't. Maya's phone buzzed again. She pulled it out, desperate for an escape. Any escape. Unknown number. Again. Excuse me, she whispered and walked toward the exit. The cool evening air hit her face like mercy. She answered the call. Ms. Chen? A man's voice, professional and urgent. Thank God. This is Robert Henderson. I've been trying to reach you for weeks. Okay, who is this mysterious lawyer? And what does Maya's mother's estate have to do with anything? Drop your theories in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because this story is about to get insane. I'm sorry, Maya's voice cracked. I've been dealing with a lot. I understand. Ms. Chen, I'm an attorney. I handle your mother's estate, and there's something you need to know immediately. I realize this is terrible timing, but when I saw the wedding announcement in the society pages, your ex-husband marrying Vanessa Hartley, I thought perhaps fate was at play. Maya leaned against the building's brick wall. Mr. Henderson, my mother didn't have an estate. She was a secretary. She left me her car and some photographs. That's all. Ms. Chen. Henderson's voice gentled. Your mother was Margaret Chen, founder and CEO of MCA Investments. I need to speak with you in person. I'm actually 10 minutes away. I'm coming to the Grandview Country Club right now. Maya's legs felt weak. That's impossible. I have the documents. Please, just wait for me. This can't wait another day. The 6-month restriction period ended yesterday. What restriction period? What are you talking about? I'll explain everything. 10 minutes. Please don't leave. He hung up. Maya stared at her phone, her heart hammering. MCA Investments. She'd never heard of it. Her mother had worked at Hastings and Associates for 40 years, had lived in the same small house since Maya was born, had driven the same car until it finally died. There was no company, no investments, no fortune. This had to be a mistake. But something in Henderson's voice, the certainty, the urgency, made her wait. She went back inside. The reception was in full swing now, the dance floor packed, the bar 3 deep with guests. Maya found an empty table in the corner and sat, watching Marcus and Vanessa slow dance like they were the only 2 people in the world. Derek appeared beside her with 2 glasses of champagne. "You look like you need this." Maya accepted it gratefully. "Thank you." "I'm sorry about my brother," Derek said quietly. "And Vanessa. This whole thing is wrong." "You don't have to apologize for them." "Someone should." He sat down. "For what it's worth, I always liked you. I think Marcus is an idiot for letting you go." Maya managed a small smile. "You're kind." "No, I'm honest. There's a difference." Derek glanced at the dance floor where his brother was spinning Vanessa like a prize he'd won. "He changed when he met her. Became someone I don't recognize." Before Maya could respond, the music stopped. The room fell silent. A man stood in the entrance. He was in his 60s, distinguished, wearing a suit that probably cost more than Maya's car. His silver hair was perfectly styled, his posture military straight. He scanned the room until his eyes found Maya. "Ms. Chen?" He walked directly toward her table, his shoes clicking on the marble floor. Every eye in the room followed him. "I'm Robert Henderson." Maya stood on shaking legs. "Mr. Henderson." "I apologize for the dramatic entrance." He set his briefcase on the table. "But given the circumstances, I thought it was appropriate." "Excuse me." Vanessa appeared, Marcus beside her smile forced. "This is a private event. We didn't invite any. I'm here on legal business regarding Margaret Chen's estate," Henderson said coolly, not even looking at her. Marcus laughed. "What estate? Maya's mother was a secretary. She had nothing." Henderson finally turned to him. "I don't believe we've met, Mr. Chen. Or should I say Mr. Chen the Younger, since you're no longer married to my client." The band had stopped playing. The entire reception was watching now, 200 people holding their breath. "Maya," Patricia Hartley pushed forward, her voice shrill. "If this is some kind of scene you're trying to make..." "Mrs. Hartley," Henderson's voice cut like glass, "I suggest you step back. This doesn't concern you." He opened his briefcase and pulled out a thick folder. "Ms. Chen, your mother left specific instructions about how this information should be delivered. She wanted you to have time, 6 months exactly, to see who would stand by you when they thought you had nothing." He glanced at Marcus and Vanessa. "I'd say the test was successful." Maya's hands trembled. "What are you talking about?" Henderson pulled out documents, spreading them on the table. "Your mother, Margaret Chen, wasn't a secretary. She was the founder and CEO of MCA Investments, a private equity firm she built over 40 years, starting with $10,000 in 1984. The room was dead silent. She made strategic investments in technology startups, real estate, emerging markets. She kept the company entirely private, operated under a series of LLCs, and lived modestly by deliberate choice." Henderson looked at Maya gently. "She drove that old Camry by choice. Lived in that small house by choice. She wanted to raise you away from the corruption that wealth brings." "No." Maya shook her head. "That's not possible. She would have told me." She wanted to protect you. Henderson showed her corporate documents, bank statements, investment portfolios. The firm is currently valued at $87 million. $87 million. Did you see Marcus's face? If you're loving this karma moment, hit that like button right now and comment karma if you think Maya's mom was a genius. Oh, and we're just getting started. Someone gasped. Then another. Then the entire room seemed to exhale at once. Marcus's face went white as paper. As of midnight last night, Henderson continued, the mandatory 6-month waiting period ended. You are now the sole owner of MCA Investments, Ms. Chen. Congratulations. Maya couldn't breathe. 87 million. Her mother. The woman who'd clipped coupons and bought generic cereal and never, ever splurged on anything. Why? Maya whispered. Why didn't she tell me? Henderson's expression softened. She left you a letter, but first, you need to understand the conditions of her will. If you had remarried within that 6-month period, the entire fortune would have gone to charity. She wanted to see who would love you, truly love you, when they thought you had nothing. Marcus stumbled forward, his face desperate. Maya, wait. This is all. We need to talk. There's been a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Maya's voice was stronger now, steadier. About which part? When you left me 2 weeks after my mother's funeral? Or when you said I was mediocre and that you wasted 5 years on me? I didn't mean... Marcus reached for her. Henderson stepped between them. I wouldn't, if I were you. Vanessa's face had gone from pale to red. This is ridiculous. Marcus, tell her. Tell her this doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything? Marcus whirled on her. Are you insane? Do you understand what $87 million means? You said you loved me. Vanessa's voice climbed to a shriek. You said we were building a life together. That was before... Marcus stopped, realizing the entire reception was watching him implode. Before you found out I'm not broke? Maya's voice cut through the chaos. Before you realized you divorced the wrong person? Henderson pulled out another folder. There's something else you should know, Ms. Chen. Your mother hired a forensic accountant to track any unusual interest in her affairs during her final months. We found that Ms. Hartley here hired a private investigator 3 weeks before your mother died. He laid out printed reports on the table. Phone records, bank statements, a contract with a private investigation firm. Wait. She hired a private investigator while Maya's mom was dying? Comment exposed. If you're as stunned as I am. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Stories like this don't come around every day. Ms. Hartley attempted to research your mother's assets, property holdings, and bank accounts. When the investigator found nothing, because everything was hidden in corporate structures, she apparently moved on to other options. Henderson glanced at Marcus meaningfully. Vanessa's face crumbled. You don't understand. My family lost everything. We declared bankruptcy 2 years ago. The house, the cars, the reputation, all gone. I was desperate. You hired an investigator while my mother was dying in hospice. Maya's voice was ice. While I was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, you were calculating her worth. I was trying to secure my future. Vanessa was crying now, mascara streaming down her face. You don't know what it's like to lose everything. Actually, Maya said quietly, I do. I lost my mother. Then I lost my husband. Then I lost my best friend, all within a month. And you know what? I didn't hire a private investigator. I didn't scheme. I just grieved. Patricia pushed forward, her face a mask of desperation disguised as concern. Maya, darling, you have to understand. Vanessa was under tremendous pressure. We all were. This doesn't mean... It means exactly what it looks like, Mrs. Hartley. Derek stood, moving to Maya's side. It means your daughter is a gold digger and my brother is... A fool. Derek, Marcus's voice cracked. No. Derek's voice was firm. I've kept quiet for months, watching you treat Maya like garbage, watching Vanessa parade around like she'd won some prize. But this is beyond disgusting. The room erupted in whispers. Phones were out now, recording. This would be on social media within minutes. The Hartley Chen wedding disaster. Vanessa grabbed Marcus's arm. Tell them you love me, that this was real. Marcus pulled away from her. Vanessa, we need to think about this rationally. Rationally? Vanessa's laugh was hysterical. You mean now that she has money, you want to think rationally? That's not what you told me she was worthless. You told me her mother left nothing. You said we deserve better. Vanessa was screaming now, all pretense of elegance gone. This was your idea. You said we should get married before anyone found out about. She stopped, her hand flying to her mouth. Before anyone found out about what? Maya asked softly. The room held its breath. Nothing, Vanessa whispered. I didn't mean. Henderson pulled out yet another document. Your divorce papers, Ms. Chen, filed exactly 14 days after your mother's death. Rather quick, don't you think? Almost like someone was in a hurry. Maya took the papers, seeing them with new eyes. The signatures, the date. You were planning this before she died. Marcus wouldn't meet her eyes. You were at the funeral, Maya continued, her voice breaking. Checking your phone, whispering with Vanessa. You were waiting for her to die so you could leave me. Maya, no, You thought there'd be an inheritance. Both of you did. And when you thought there wasn't, you decided to cut your losses and move on together. Maya looked at Vanessa. You asked me about money at the funeral. My mother wasn't even cold yet, and you were asking about her assets. Vanessa was sobbing. Several guests had moved away from her like she was diseased. The really perfect part, Maya said, is that if you'd just waited, if you'd loved me, stayed with me, been there for me, you would have gotten what you wanted. But you couldn't even pretend for 6 months. Ms. Chen. Henderson handed her an envelope, cream-colored and sealed with wax. Your mother's letter. She wanted you to read it when you were ready. I think now might be the time. Maya took it with shaking hands. The envelope was addressed in her mother's handwriting. To my dearest Maya, when you finally understand. She broke the seal. The letter was 3 pages, handwritten, dated 1 week before her mother died. Maya read it silently, tears streaming down her face, while 200 people watched and waited. My dearest Maya, it began. If you're reading this, I'm gone, and you've endured the hardest test I could ever give you. I'm sorry for that. A mother should protect her child, not put her through pain. But I needed you to see what I saw my whole life. People change when they smell money. Maya's vision blurred. She read about her mother's journey, building a company from nothing, about the friends who'd betrayed her, the family members who'd stolen from her, the partners who'd tried to destroy her, about how she'd learned to hide her wealth, to test people's hearts before she trusted them. These 6 months were cruel, I know, her mother had written. But now you know who loved Maya the person, and who loved what they thought Maya could give them. I watched Marcus during my funeral. I saw how he looked at Vanessa. I knew what was coming, and it broke my heart. But I also knew you needed to see it for yourself. The letter ended with, use this wealth wisely, my darling. Help people who deserve it. Don't let it change your heart. I was so proud to be your mother. I'm so proud of the woman you are. Always, Mom. Maya folded the letter carefully, her hands steady now. She looked up at the crowd, at Marcus's desperate face, at Vanessa's tear-streaked makeup, at Patricia's calculation masked as concern. My mother told me something when I was young, Maya said, her voice carrying across the silent room. She said, "When people think you have nothing, that's when you see their true hearts." I never understood what she meant. Until now. She turned to Marcus. "Thank you for the divorce. Thank you for showing me exactly who you are. You freed me from a life with someone who never loved me, who only loved what he thought I could give him." Marcus opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. No words came. Maya faced Vanessa. "You asked about money at my mother's funeral. While I was crying over her body, you were calculating her worth. You hired an investigator while she was dying. And when you found nothing, you took my husband instead." She paused. "I hope he was worth it." "Maya, please." Vanessa reached for her. Maya stepped back. "I wore black today because I was mourning. The friendship we had, the trust I gave you, the years I wasted on people who saw me as a transaction." She looked around the room at all the shocked, fascinated faces. "I think I'm done mourning now." She turned to Derek. "Thank you for being kind when you didn't have to be. That meant more than you know." Derek smiled. "Anytime." To Henderson, "Can we go somewhere quiet? I'd like to hear about my mother's company. I have a lot to learn." Henderson nodded, gathering his documents. "I have 40 years of stories to tell you, Ms. Chen. Your mother was a remarkable woman." Maya picked up her clutch and her mother's letter. She walked toward the exit, her head high, her simple black dress suddenly looking like the most expensive thing in the room. That's how you make an exit. If you think Maya handled that perfectly, drop a heart in the comments. And hey, if this story moves you even a bit, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, because our stories only get better every week. Behind her, chaos erupted. Marcus and Vanessa's voices rose in accusations and recriminations. Patricia was trying to salvage something, anything. Guests were whispering, filming, gossiping. The perfect wedding had become a spectacular disaster. Maya stepped outside into the cool night air. Henderson followed. "That was quite a speech," he said with quiet approval. "I've had 6 months to rehearse it," Maya said. "I just didn't know it until today." They walked toward Henderson's car, a sleek Mercedes parked in the front circle. "Your mother left detailed instructions about the company," Henderson said. "She wanted you to run it if you chose to. Or you could sell it, invest it, do whatever you wanted. It's yours." Maya stopped walking. "I don't know anything about running a company. Your mother didn't either when she started. She learned." Henderson opened the car door for her. "She also left you a team of advisors, myself included. We'll help you with whatever you decide." Maya slid into the passenger seat. Through the country club's windows, she could see the reception still in chaos. Marcus was arguing with Vanessa while guests recorded on their phones. The perfect wedding destroyed. She didn't feel triumphant. She felt tired and sad and strangely free. "My mother was testing me," Maya said as Henderson started the car. "But she was also protecting me." "She was doing both. She loved you more than anything in the world. That's why she made the hard choice." They drove in silence for a few minutes, away from the country club, away from the chaos, away from her old life. "What do I do now?" Maya asked quietly. Henderson glanced at her. "What do you want to do?" Maya thought about her mother working in silence for 40 years, building an empire while everyone thought she filed papers and answered phones. She thought about the letter, about being proud of who she was, not what she had. "I want to learn," Maya said finally, "about the company, about what my mother built," and then she paused, an idea forming. "I want to help people." Women who are starting from nothing, like my mother did. Women who need someone to believe in them. Henderson smiled. Your mother would have loved that. She knew I'd do it, didn't she? That's why she tested me, to make sure I was strong enough. She knew exactly who you were, Maya. That's why she left everything to you. 6 months later, Maya walked into the sleek glass building in downtown Manhattan that housed MC Investments. Her hair was styled, her suit was tailored, her heels clicked with confidence on the marble floor. The receptionist smiled. Good morning, Ms. Chen. Good morning, Sarah. Maya had learned all her employees' names in the first month. It's what her mother would have done. She took the elevator to the top floor, where her corner office overlooked the city. On her desk was a framed photo of her mother, and next to it, the letter preserved under glass. Her assistant, Derek. Yes, that Derek, who'd quit his brother's firm and asked to work for her, knocked on the door frame. Your 9 o'clock is here. Sarah Martinez looking for seed funding for her tech startup. Maya smiled. Send her in. Derek hesitated. You heard Marcus and Vanessa are getting divorced? I heard. He tried calling you again yesterday. I know. Maya had blocked his number months ago, but he kept finding new ways to reach out. Apologies, explanations, begging. What do you want me to do? Derek asked. Maya looked at the photo of her mother, at the woman who'd built an empire in secret, who'd lived simply to see people's true hearts, who'd loved her enough to let her suffer so she could grow strong. Nothing, Maya said. We have work to do. Derek grinned. Yes, ma'am. Sarah Martinez entered, nervous and eager, carrying a prototype and a dream. She was 26, brilliant, and had been turned down by 17 investors who told her to come back when she had more experience, more connections, more of everything she didn't have. Maya stood and shook her hand. Sarah, thank you for coming. Tell me about yourself. Not your business, yourself. Who are you? What drives you? Sarah blinked, surprised. Most investors want to see my pitch deck first. I'm not most investors, Maya said. My mother taught me that you bet on people, not just ideas. So tell me who you are. Sarah's face lit up. She started talking, her passion evident, her determination clear. Maya listened and saw herself 6 months ago, grieving, lost, but unbroken. She saw her mother 40 years ago, starting with nothing but $10,000 and a dream. When Sarah finished, Maya said, I'm going to fund your startup. Not because of your technology, though it's impressive. Because of you. Because you remind me of someone important. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Really? Really? Maya pulled out her phone and texted her CFO. We'll get the paperwork started this week, but Sarah, promise me something. Anything. When you make it big, and you will, remember this moment. Remember what it felt like to be turned down 17 times. And when someone comes to you someday, scared and hopeful, give them the chance someone gave you. Sarah nodded, unable to speak. This is what true success looks like. Maya didn't just win, she became someone who lifts others up. What would you do with $87 million? Tell me in the comments. And if this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Also, should we make a part 2 about what happens to Marcus and Vanessa? Comment part 2 if you want to see that. After she left, Maya stood at her window, looking out at the city. Her phone buzzed with another text from Marcus. She deleted it without reading. Some people thought the black dress at the wedding was about revenge, but it wasn't. It was about mourning what she'd lost and celebrating what she'd found, herself. And that was worth more than $87 million, though the $87 million didn't hurt. So, what did you think? Was Maya's mom brilliant or cruel for testing her like that? Let me know in the comments below. If you love this story, check out these other revenge stories on screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the people who laugh at you end up eating their words. See you in the next one.